creator, welcome to Odessa Rose Creates. I'm Robin Schmidt and I'm an independent chalk couture designer, and I'm here to share with you my love of the craft of chalking using Chalk Couture's reusable silkscreen transfers that we squeegee over chalk paste that's also made by Chalk Couture. And Chalk Couture products are what I sell on my website, chalkcouture.com/Odessa Rose. So you can DIY your own beautiful home decor in minutes, right? We offer reusable silkscreen transfers, chalkology paste, and inks, whether you want to make a shirt like this shirt I made. You can use our ink products and heat set those, and tools to use these products. We have squeegees and all kinds of other tools you can use, and we have fantastic surfaces such as board signs, chalkboards, even canvas products, pillowcases, canvas banners. I could go on, but check it all out on my website. You'll see it linked. Hopefully it'll pop up down below, and then up in the description is a link to also some of the products we're going to use today or something similar that you can use. So check those out when you get a chance. So let's get started. Today we're going to use this cute transfer called Hug Me. This would be so cute on a shirt, but I'm not going to put it on a shirt. I'm going to put it on a sign. It's kind of my thing. I do like to make shirts. I just don't do them very often, but I do like to do it. And I'm going to find myself here on, here we go. Here I am. Okay. So Hug Me is a size B transfer. They retail for $14.99, and you can use our transfers, they say, up to 8 to 10 times, but most of us can use them more than that if you take care of them properly, which just means once you have squeegeed over it and removed all your excess paste off, just take it to the sink or spritz it with water, clean it up with water. I think it's great to use one of our board erasers, which is another tool we have. They look like this. These little round, they come two in a package. You can clean those with your, clean the chalk paste or ink off with those with a wet, they're like kind of like a sponge. And you can wet those and just wash off all that chalk paste or ink in your sink, and then allow your transfer to dry. And then once it dries, you're going to put it back on this white backer sheet and put it back in your envelope. There is a back side and a front side to the backer sheets. The shiny side is what the sticker of the back side of the transfer sticks to. So the back of the transfer is sticky, a little bit more sticky than a Post-it note, but it'll stand up to being washed and it'll be sticky again after you wash it. But just make sure you replace this backer sheet onto the shiny side. This is the shiny side, this is the dull side, and this is the sticky side. You can see how it sticks, okay? I'm going to use a found surface. This was actually a sign that had a pink background. I don't know if you can tell that it's pink back in here. But I kind of left the pink in the border and just painted what was on, whatever was printed on it. I don't remember. I just put some black paint over that area. And I kind of wanted to leave that pink as a frame or a border or a matte look. Even though it's uneven, I just kind of like that kind of a unfinished look, I guess. So we're just going to use that, but definitely could use our Chalk Couture box frame. We have a 9x12 that is a double-sided, so you can paint them or leave them. One side is the wood tone, one side is the white washed look. So you can either paint or just use them directly as they are. So usually on a wood surface, whether it's painted or unfinished, it's always a good idea to put a little bit of finishing wax on top of your paint, and I'm going to use Minwax's. Chalk Couture also has a wax paste, but I think it's out of stock right now. I never seem to remember to get it when it is back in stock, but you can use any finishing wax paste. There's different brands. This is just Minwax, and I just take my rag and just rub in a little bit in the area that your transfer is going to stick. This will help release your transfer off of the surface easier without it sticking too hard. You don't want to stretch out your transfer because it is a fabric, and you don't want to misshape it. So just put a little wax so it doesn't have that hard pull on it. It also helps protect your transfer from picking up any paint that may want to stick to it. And also the third thing is that if you would have a bleed through or you went off the edge of your transfer with your chalk base, it's going to be easier to clean that mess up if you have a little wax underneath it. So 3 good reasons to use wax. Okay, so always make sure your hanger is at the top if you have a hanger. And I pulled out several pastes because we're also going to add a couple transfers to this. I'm going to put a little pattern down here on the bottom of this, just a slight pattern. And I'm also going to use, if you watched Friday, I used some of these seam spots kind of as a pebbled brick road in the design I was doing. I'm just going to put a little bit area of that kind of down around this, just to look like it's kind of setting in rocks. Okay. Otherwise, the cactuses I'm going to do, I have 3 different colors of green. I have meadow, pesto, and sage. We'll kind of work in 3 different colors. I did grab some peachy, pinky color that matched the pink the best in this frame. And I'm going to put that right in here, and probably some of my lettering, I might ombre from pink to white as we come down. And then this, I'm going to try to make it kind of a terracotta color with the papaya. So we got, seems like a lot going on in this little transfer, but we'll try to go through it quickly and see how it turns out. This will be, I think, really cute in a sunroom or even in a baby room, but a bathroom, sunroom, be super cute. Maybe you grow cacti, so that would be cute sitting amongst your cactus. We are just applying a little bit of fuzz to the back of this because it's a fairly sticky, brand new transfer. And putting a little bit of lint off that towel also helps release your transfer off your board. And so because I'm going to do that little rock look, I'm going to hang this a little bit higher up in the frame. I'm going to add, and I'm going to put it right up to here. So I had a little bit more space to put my little pebbling down here. Okay. So now you just want to make sure all your air pockets are out. So just rub your hand over it. If you see air pocket, you can kind of lift this up, you know, and then you can pull it back down and get the air pockets out. All right, good time to say hello to everybody. We have 27 watching right now. Hopefully with some more on. Hello, Vicki. Good morning, Morgan. Good morning, Melissa from Washington. Beth, I've been up since 4, so I'm going to take a break, have a cup of coffee, and watch you. Well, Beth, were you supposed to be up at 4, or you just couldn't sleep? You're going to need a nap. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning. Good morning, Donna from upstate New York. Hello, happy Monday to you, too. Good morning, Rosa. Good morning. All right, so we're working on Hug Me. We're going to add a little bit of detail to it. And this is a found surface. It had a pink background, and I kind of painted a block of black over what was on it. I got this at a discount, and so I'm using a little bit of that peachy pink color in my design, and then we're going to jazz this area up a little bit. So let's see if we can get started. I'm going to do a little ombre on the Hug Me between the peachy color and white. We'll start up there, and I'm going to set this sideways so I can run my color this way. I got to run the sink and grab all my squeegees. And that one didn't even get washed. I guess I didn't grab them. I don't know if the few I have here would have gone all the way through. Okay. So I'm just going to do some of this peachy color towards the top, putting it on fairly thick. I mean, I'm not like putting it on thin. You just kind of want to angle it like the wording is. And I'm going to grab another one with white. Okay, and then where the two colors meet is where you just kind of use your finger and kind of blend them. So you kind of have a lighter peachy color in the middle, hopefully. Now this is where you want to grab a paper towel or a wipe, and we're going to skim this down, but you don't want to blend your colors, so you got to wipe off your squeegee. And this peachy has flecks of pigment in it. One is kind of a dark pink and the other one's a purple. I've always had that. I'm going to add a little bit more white right in here. Okay, and I'm going to pick it up so the paste doesn't dry in my surface, in my silk screen, because this is the old paste. I can pick up the corner. One of these days. There we go. You can see that transfer sticking down pretty good. Okay, so there's my little ombre. You can see it. Okay, I'm gonna allow that to dry just a second. I got a little bit of white on that little flower bloom of the cactus, so I'm gonna pick that up, because I'm definitely gonna make that pink. And somehow, of course, I managed to get white paste all over me. Made it through my birthday, made it through storm. Had the our grandkids over, brother and sister that are 2.5 and 1, just turned 1, and a 2.5-year-old. They pretty much slept through it. And by the time the city decided to blow the whistles, the storm kind of calmed down. Trees had probably already been snapped, but I'm like, oh my gosh, they're blowing the whistle. Maybe there's a tornado coming or something. So I grabbed Theo, the little 1-year-old, out of the bed, and my husband, we were already awake watching the storm. He had already gone down to the lower level family room, and I come down with Theo, and I said, you better go get Chase, they're blowing the whistles. He goes, I know they're blowing the whistles. I'm like, well, we better be down in the lower level, because we're not like super worried. We're not always super worried about that. But in the city, I think if they blow the whistles at, what time was it? 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever time it was, that means you need to go to the lower level, right? So he's like, well, I got to get a place for her to lay down. Like, not that she couldn't just lay on the floor. He had to get a couple blankets out, lay them down, find her a pillow. I'm like, good grief. By the time you get the kid down here, the tornado will be gone. And we might be gone. But oh my gosh, I was just like, are you serious? Finally, he goes up and gets her, lays her down, and Of course, she didn't even wake up. She slept through the whole thing. And by the time he got the bed made, the wind was gone too. It was gone. So, had it been a tornado in our neighborhood, he still would have been making the bed. I'm like, good grief. Oh. Crazy, crazy. We survived. All right, I'm gonna lay this back out. Now we're gonna work on our cactus. Like I said, I got 3 different greens: pesto, meadow, and sage. Kind of want each one in a different color, but I'm gonna put probably one major color in each one and then throw in a second color in it just to give it a little bit of variation on the coloring. So we'll probably put the light one, the light color of, what did I say it was, sage, in the middle, and then the darker colors on the outside. Oh, Lordy. I took a good nap yesterday, and then, which always screws up my sleeping pattern, because then I was awake till like, after midnight. So, ugh, I hate that. All right, we're gonna do, I'm gonna do this middle one first. Do a little sage in it. And of course you could definitely just do these all in one color of green. You don't have to be fancy. I'm just gonna add another little color to the edging. Just kind of blending in those 2 colors as we work them in, just with the squeegee. Okay, now let's do more of a pesto one on this side, a little bit darker. And blend in a little bit of meadow with it. Just a little bit. Then we want this one to be mostly meadow. And we'll just put a little bit of sage on the side here. Kind of blend it in. Kind of gives it a little bit of a highlight on the side here of it. All right, let's peel back our cactus. Just to the bottom of them. We gotta have a color variations in them. Makes them look pretty cool. I gotta lay it back down and put our little bloom on the top. And I'm gonna dry that just a smidgen. It's cute. I just put that paper there just to try to keep the heat from going on my transfer. And then we'll put our little bloom on in the peachy color. You could even go with a little bit brighter pink, but I'll just use this one. could just use a multi-tool here. Peel that back. Oh. You can tell where I had that. I'm gonna have to work it in really hard. Where that white was on my transfer. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over it later after I wash it. Okay, now let's do the pot. And I kind of want to do it in this papaya, which is kind of a terracotta color. And I'm going to probably blend in a little bit of camel in it, just to kind of give it a little bit of variation color. But this middle strip right here, I'm going to make pink. The peachy color. I just need to remember that. Just running a little bit of camel around the edge. And then we'll blend in some terracotta. So instead of using my finger, I'm just using the squeegee to kind of blend it in. Landed that squeegee right on my cactus. Hopefully it's not going to press down that much. May have to fix my casket. Oh, you could tell I work in the funeral service, or my husband does. Cactus, not casket. Okay. Right there is where I landed my squeegee on my cactus. We'll see if it affected it much. A little bit. Ugh. Woo! That looks pretty cool. But we're not quite done. I'm going to put a little bit of pattern on that, on the pot. And we'll put a little bit of the stone around. But it looks really good, doesn't it? Let's see if I can get that brown off my cactus. It kind of looks like a brown spot on a cactus, so maybe I should just leave it. Sometimes things are happy accidents, right? Definitely got to redo my flour. They had dried white chalk paste in the flour, so I'll wash that and then go over my flour again. I might even put a little bit darker pink towards the top of the bloom, top of the flower. Good colorations. I mean, looks pretty real. I'm gonna cool my board off a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit of wax on top of my pot, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of a pattern on it, just on the terracotta part. Just a little bit, very fine. Wax. Let's put a little wax on it. I'm trying to decide whether to leave that brown on my cactus. I'll scrape just a little bit of it off, just kind of. Looks kind of cute. Just need to redo my little bloom. Just go ahead and wax the whole thing. And I'm going to use, now it says, I know these are retiring and it says they're out of stock right now, but maybe they'll come back. I mean, I'm guessing they have some on order and maybe they're on a ship somewhere, but they may come back in before they officially retire, and that's the house patterns. Of course, we have lots of other patterns you can use, but I'm going to use this little fine stripe across the terracotta, and I was going to do white, but I might use dune. More of a, let me think about that. Do I want to use dune or I want to use white? We'll just use a combination of them. How's that sound? And I'm going to do a little bit on the top one, not anything on the pink, just across the top. The trick now is to make sure it's straight. Right in there. So just on the two brown areas, I'm just going to lightly squeegee this white over it. White / dune. Not going to take much. Okay, and then we'll do some on the bottom part. Got to pay attention not to go over the edge of your pot, but if you do go over the edge, we can clean it up with a wet wipe. Okay. So there's our little striped pot now. Isn't that cute? Totally adorable. Brings the white out of the Hug Me down into the pot now. cute. And that is from House Patterns, which is out of stock right now, but hopefully it's going to retire too, I believe. But hopefully, maybe it'll come back in before it officially retires. Because if it was not, I mean, if there wasn't a chance of that, they would just say it's you know, they wouldn't have it on the website. So maybe there's a chance. Maybe. I'm just cleaning up the white that kind of went off on the black. Just so, you know, you wouldn't have the stripe continuing past the pot. That looks really good. Super cute. Now I'm going to put a little bit of pebbling down with the seam spots around like it's setting in some rocky area. But we're going to dry this up real quick. And then we'll be done. Good measure. I'm just going to add a little bit of wax to this too. Let this cool down a little bit. This just helps that next transfer from sticking to my layers and pulling up the pattern that we just put down. So that's why I'm waxing it. You don't need it thick, so just and now I need my seam spots. I didn't know what I was going to do with this, but I'm definitely loving it for pebbles, or like I did my pebblestone road or brick type road on that big crazy design I did on Friday with the Volkswagen Beetle car. So if you didn't see that, go check that out. So I think I want to do Papaya and Storm on this, and maybe a little, I'm kind of want to, you know, kind of river rockish like colors. So let's get the Storm open. Maybe even some Dune. These four colors kind of mimic river rock. Papaya, Camel, Dune, Storm. I'm going to lay these in here. And we'll just kind of go around, about a third way up on the pot. And then just kind of come down. And I'm going to try to keep it just on the black areas, not into the pink outer area of my sign here. And start with Storm. I know I'm like double dipping, but oops, I went a little higher than I thought I was going to. That's all right. Okay. A little bit more. So I just kind of have them down there around the stone by the pot. There we go. I went a little higher than I planned on, but it's okay. It still looks cute. There. Gives a little bit more character, right? Pretty good, pretty good. I like it. And that's pretty much it. I got a little bit to clean off on the pink area down here, but not bad at all. Find my fresh wipe here and just see if I can get that. There we go. Get them on this side. Super cute. I like it. I'm going to try to fix my little flower here for you. So I'm going to take this transfer. I'm just going to try to clean off around the flower so I can get a good print. Some of this white came on it and left a line, and so I'm just going to get rid of it here real quick. And I can reprint it. Okay, so I got the flower cleaned off. See it there? I also want it to dry, so I might just press it on my towel a couple times. You want the screen to be dry, you don't want it to be wet. So I think it's dry now. And you can see right where that didn't come off perfect, because I had white paste in it. So now I'm going to redo a little bit to just match it up. I better make sure this is dry. It up. I kind of want just a little bit sharper pink right there. Just a little bit. Maybe Couture teal right at the very tip. And then I'm going to bring it down into that peachy color. There we go. Now she's beautiful. There. See how she's complete now? Super cute. Super cute. And that's how you can jazz up the Hug Me transfer. Just jazz it up a little bit. Doo-doo-doo. So go out and give someone a hug, even if they're kind of like a cactus. Super cute. I love it. All right, I should probably pay attention over here. Make sure you didn't have any questions. That is huggable, isn't it, Beth? All right. Robin, I am loving your lives. Thank you, Vicky Keller. And then rewatching so I can catch what I missed. You know, I honestly watch my lives again too. And that's, I've told this before, so I can try to learn to communicate better, because my language doesn't always want to come out. And I kind of found out recently that why I've always had this trouble my whole life. Because in my head, I can, just like I can see things, I can know what I want to say, but it doesn't always want to come out the way I want to, or I mess up my words, I screw up my words, I combine them together or whatever. And it has a little bit to do with me being dual dexterous. So I can kind of work with both hands. Like my wires in my brain are not connected normally, because I do some tasks with my left hand and some tasks with my right hands. And on chalking, I'll use both hands. But that also, another side effect or effect of having that in your brain is that you have trouble with language, trouble with speaking. So I try to work on it really hard and try to get my thoughts first and then try to get them to come out. But that doesn't always happen the way I want it to. So if I screw up my words, or if I'm not saying the right word, it's probably because I'm thinking it, but I can't always communicate it right. So I try to think of things ahead of time before I even come on live on how I'm going to say stuff. Not only am I thinking of my design, but I'm trying to think how I'm going to communicate that. So so hang with me and bear with my crazy language, but it's okay. I don't mind. It's just the way I am. That's the way God made me. That's right. And Karen can relate too. I'm glad I know I'm not the only one out there that has trouble speaking what you want to say, but it is what it is. So, all right. So this turned out even cuter than I thought it was. It almost looks like an artist drew that versus just chalking through a silk screen, just because of the coloring variations on that cactus. It just has depth to it and dimension. It just looks cute. Super cute. So go get you a Hug Me. I have links up above in the description for some of the paste colors that come in single packets. If you don't have jars, I think I tried to put in 3 greens. But I used Pesto, Sage, and Meadow today. I used Terracotta and Camel on my pot. Plus I used this peachy pink and white. And then I used a little bit of Storm down in my pebbles. And Dune. I used Dune and white in my stripes. So Hug Me Transfer, House Patterns on the pot, and Seeing Spots. Those transfers are also in the link up above, except for House Patterns. It is out of stock right now. Hopefully they'll bring it back before the end of the month, because I do believe they are going to retire it soon. So super fun. All right, guys. Thanks for watching me. Thanks for chalking with me. Yes. Introverted people. Yep. So I will chalk with you later. Have a great week. Hopefully I should be on most of the days. I don't think I have too much planned unless something comes up. So I'll try to come on and do a project with you most every morning this week. So I will chalk with you later. Bye-bye.